Okay, good evening, everybody. So let us start our lecture today. And so, as usual, let us see our schedule first. So, okay, so today is week 4, right? So in this week, we will discuss advanced OOP abstraction, okay, and abstract class and interface, polymorphism, and typecasting, okay. So then we will start from our lecture module 3, inheritance. So let us do a quick review about inheritance. So in our last lecture, we discussed inheritance, right? So what is the purpose of inheritance? Can anyone please tell me what is the purpose of inheritance? Yes. Yes, that is the purpose, to reuse code. Actually, not transfer. Transferring, as usual, transferring means, so if you transfer your property from anything from one place to another place, usually it gets reduced. The original source gets reduced, right? But the inheritance is sharing, actually, you can say sharing. Okay, or reusing an existing class, okay, or extending an existing class with new features. Okay, the old class is called a base class or parent class, and the new class is called the child class or derived class, right? So in our last lecture, we discussed that. So mammal is is a parent class or base class, and we created a new class by extending the mammal class, like dog, right? Dog, cat, and then this, by looking this, so minus sign means these are protected member, so private member, okay? Minus means private, and plus means these are public. Okay, and sometimes if you see that there are some members that are star, you will see that are actually protected. So protected members are inherited only one level, only child level, not grand child level. Oh, it's not working. Okay. Okay, and we discussed this in our last lecture that whenever we have a parent class, then we can extend that class multiple times to create more than one child class, right? So, okay, and thus actually in our last lecture, we went through some programs and we saw that there are many advantages of inheritance. Like there is a substantial advantage of inheritance, that we can reuse code. If we have an existing code, we can reuse that code in our another program. Okay, but okay, one thing, that this colon sign is for inheritance sign. This is for C#, and in Java we use extend keyword. Okay, and there's object class. There is an object class that is the highest level class, that is a built-in class, and some property. This object class has some properties and built-in methods. We use these methods and properties in our new class. Okay, and okay, one thing is that, so some languages like Java and C# and modern languages do not allow multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance means if there are more than one parent. Okay, but C++ allow that. C++ has a scope operator, double colon is So C++ allow, okay, so more than one, this parent and this is parent, right? Two parents, okay. So it is not allowed in Java and C#. So this is a kind of limitation. This is a limitation actually in C++ and Java, that these languages do not allow to have multiple parents. Okay, the problem will arrive if there is a method, for instance, run method in both classes, like a man run and wolf run, and then if there is another subclass over here. So this class will be inheriting run method from both classes. Then the confusion will come, this run method is coming from which class? Is it coming from man class or is it coming from wolf class? Okay, so this is a limitation of inheritance, and today we will see, maybe we will search for a few more limitations of inheritance, and then we will see how those limitations are mitigated or resolved, okay, or satisfied using other ways like inherit interface. We will see that in a class does not allow to have multiple parents, but an interface does. So the limitation that class does not have, so like Java and C#, they do not allow to have multiple parents. So, but in order to resolve that issue, there is a concept in interface. So interface allows to have multiple parents. Okay, we will see that interface. Maybe we will see interface in our next lecture. Okay, another thing is that this is used to for this object and this class. Okay, and sometime in compared with super, in Java it is used super, and C++ it is used base. These two keywords are used to, for instance, to get parent level properties. So for instance, if you say like super.myMethod, then call the parent class myMethod. And if you say same thing in C#, we say base.myMethod, that is base class myMethod. It will be calling. Okay, and sometimes we see super, only super is used, super method is used to call base class constructor. So like super method or base class, base method, these are used to call parent class constructors. Okay, but there is a limitation of super and base, is that they can call only one level up, not third level up. Only parent level, not grandparent level. Okay. So this super, it will call the constructor of mammal class constructor. So it is, what is super class? Mammal class is super class, right? It will call the mammal class constructor. So in that case, we will not use mammal. We will not use like this. We will not use like this. Okay, this is not. So this means actually by calling super, actually it will be calling this. Okay. Okay, and so there are visibility mode, public, private, and protected. Public means visible anywhere, any class that inherit this class will be able to see the public members. And private visibility is only within class, and there is one thing is called protected. Is protected is called within the, in C#, Java, it is protected is within the package or subclass. So in Java, so when if you use Eclipse, so you will see that in Eclipse we create a package, and within the package, so if a class member is protected, then it is Actually it is protected is used subclass of another package. This one, so you see that protected has a limitation that it is not it is not accessible subclass of another package, but it is accessible by subclass of it's actually own package to subclass of another package. Okay, it is not accessible subclass of another package, but it is accessible subclass of own package. Okay, and so in order to use the protected member, what did we do? We use getter and setter method, right? Okay. So in order to do this, so we saw that how do we create getter and setter method. In some programs, we say getter is called accessor and setter method is called modifier. So you need to, it is not necessary that you will give get temp or set temp. Any name you can give, but the template is almost same. That getter method returns a value and setter method sets the value. Okay, the concept is that private members are enclosed within the class. So that is called, this concept is called data hiding or encapsulation. Okay. Has anyone any question about this? Okay, now from here we will jump into our next level of inheritance, that is called abstraction, abstract class. We will declare abstract, we will use abstract class or interface. Yes. Slide 35. Yes, so if you do not make mammal as a parent class of dog, how can you call it superclass? You cannot call it. Then you don't have then it will not access whatever is parent, whatever is dog has a parent class, it will call that. So whoever is parent, yeah, mammal, right? Mammal, it will call mammal class constructor. So then you don't have any inheritance. If you don't have parent, then how can you inherit property from your parent? You can? Okay, that's good. Yes. Yes, it will call mammal constructor first. This it will call this, right? So it will print mammal constructor first, and then it will call dog constructor again. This line will be executed, and this line is good catch. Okay, please do practice. Okay, only it will do if you write this statement, right? If you create an object of dog, then it will be called, right? Constructor will be called, right? When the dog constructor is going to call, the dog constructor will call super constructor, mammal constructor first. Okay, practice it. Okay, that's a good thing. Anyone has any question? Okay, now our next topic today we will discuss abstract class. Okay, polymorphism we will cover this. Okay, so let us do abstract class first. Okay, so while discussing inheritance, we figured out that inheritance has many good advantages actually to reuse our code, but at least we found at least one limitation of inheritance, right? What is that? What limitation we found just a few minutes ago of inheritance?
It can only have one parent.
It will have only one parent, not multiple. It does not allow to have multiple parents, right? Okay, how to, and then the question is that how to solve that problem? We will see that by using interface, we will be able to have multiple parents. So maybe not today, in our next lecture, we will discuss interface. So we will learn that later. But for now, do you think that inheritance has any more limitation? Can you think any more limitation that inheritance has? Anyone can think about any more limitation of inheritance? Nobody can think about any limitation of inheritance? Okay, then no problem, don't worry, okay? I will give you a clue, okay? Listen to me, I'm going to tell you a story, short story. Then, through this story, I'm going to give you a clue so that you get an answer. Okay. So, if many of you have, right? If you have a little baby or a brother, little brother or little sister, okay? Or beloved one, and if you give her some money, he or she asks you some money, ask for some money, and give her some money. Okay, even it is a single penny, no problem. Okay, for instance, yesterday you gave to your brother, little brother or younger brother, some money. Okay, and then he is asking money again today, and then he is asking money again tomorrow, and he is asking money again tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Okay, so every time when you are giving money, you are telling that, okay, whatever you can do that with this money. Okay, you don't have any restriction. But if your brother does not use that money, if he's asked, you are giving him money and he is living on a desk, but he is not using that, okay, then for how long you will be giving him money? Will you give him money forever? Long time? I would not, maybe, right? Sometime I will ask you, hey, I gave you money yesterday. What did you do with that money? If he said, no, I did not do anything with that money, then maybe at some point you will tell him, okay, use that money first. Then if you need more, then come to me, right? It is a natural habit, right? The habit is that whenever you are giving some money or spending something for someone, you want to be ensured that that is being used, right? Your money is being used, right? Or your money is going to be utilized, right? Okay. So that means it is a natural habit that even something, if we inherit some money from our parent will expect that I will utilize that money, maybe for good purposes. Okay. So now have you got any clue? Does the inheritance ensure that whenever a child class inherits a property and that property is being utilized? Huh?
Oh, having children classes with methods that they're not going to use?
Yes, you got the clue, right? You got it, right? You nailed it. So that means inheritance does not confirm that a child class who is inheriting a property from parent class is going to be use that property. Inheritance does not ensure that. Normal inheritance does not ensure that. Then how can we ensure that the inherited property will be used?
Make it a property that all children use?
Yeah, how can I make that? How can I make that property that if anyone inherits it, he or she must be utilized it?
Make it an abstract class.
Yes, that by making that property abstract. Okay, that maybe you are asking about action or method. Okay, so whenever a method is made abstract, that means it is ensured that the child class, whoever, any other class, whoever inherit this mammal class, he must utilize or use this method. So in programming perspective, how do we say use? That means we say define it. You will give the definition. Okay. So, for instance, making and then one thing. This is the concept of abstract class. Okay. So abstract class, when a method is declared as abstract, then any class that inherits this class must redefine or complete the code of the make sound class. And here the make sound class cannot be defined or completed within mammal class. It must be defined or completed within the child class. That means in another way we can tell that all mammals, we know all mammals make sound. But that sound category is different. A dog makes a sound in its own way, we call bark, right? And a cat makes a sound in another way, we call meow. And a cow makes its sound in another way that we call moo, right? A man is a human, he makes sound in another way, right? So that means, okay, that this is the concept of abstract class. You understand something? So the inheritance property has another limitation that it does not ensure that the inherited property will be used or utilized. Okay, by declaring a method as an abstract method, then it ensures that this method will be utilized by the children classes. Okay, but this is the concept. Then there are some rules or restriction of the sound method, make sound of the abstract class. So in order to declare a class abstract, we need to use abstract keyword. But if we declare a method as abstract, we cannot have its body implementation in the class wherever we are declaring it. And another thing is that rule 1, restriction 1, and rule restriction 2, that if a class contains at least one abstract method, the class must be declared as an abstract class. You understand? If a class contains an abstract method, the class will be an abstract class. So what is an abstract class? An abstract class cannot be used to instantiate an object. An abstract class cannot be used to create an object. Even an abstract class can have its constructor. That constructor cannot be used. So then how many properties we got for abstract class? Number 1, if in order to make an abstract class, abstract member method, we need to use abstract keyword. And then if we use abstract keyword, we cannot have a body or implementation. Where the implementation will go? Implementation will go in the children classes. Number 1. Number 2, if a class contains an abstract method, it must be declared as an abstract class. The class must be declared an abstract class using abstract keyword. And number 3, if a class is declared as an abstract class, it cannot be used to create an object. And there are some few more. I'm going to tell you one more. If a class contains an abstract class, it can contain all of the methods that be abstract or none of them abstract. If a class is abstract, then all of the methods can be abstract, or at least one can be abstract. At least one can, all of them can be abstract, or at least one of them can be abstract, or none of this abstract, but class itself can be abstract. But none of the method can be abstract. Even there is no abstract method in a class, still I can declare the class as an abstract class. But it's opposite. If I have at least one method is abstract, the class must be abstract. Have you got some idea? So here, if I declare mammal as an abstract class, then I cannot use this statement, mammal m equal to new mammal. Even I have the constructor, I cannot use it. So I cannot create an object of this class. Okay, but I can have this statement, mammal m equal to new dog, mammal m equal to new cat, mammal m equal to new cow. All these are valid, but this is invalid. Has anyone any question? Okay. So we can say dog, d equal to new dog, it is okay. And we can do this. So this is the basic concept of abstract class. Abstract class has a lot of use. Okay. In our daily life. Let us give an example. Okay, if now in modern time we say multimedia vehicle, right? Multimedia vehicle. That means a vehicle that has a multimedia device on its dashboard, right? Maybe 20 years ago, this was maybe 15 or 20 years ago, this was a new concept, right? All the old vehicles are not multimedia vehicle, right? So when do we say a vehicle or a car is a multimedia car? If it has a dashboard, right? In the dashboard, it has a multimedia device, right? Multimedia device. And we see that the device can be different kind. It can be a costly iPad, right? It can be an iPhone. It can be a touchpad. It can be a cheaper, maybe, what is that called? Cheaper tablet or something. Okay. So the vehicle developer association, they may make a rule that in order to call your vehicle as a multimedia vehicle, you must have a multimedia device, okay, in your dashboard, car dashboard, right? But the association does not confirm that what kind of device should be put over there. Association will they will give a restriction that in order to say your vehicle as a multimedia vehicle, you must have a dashboard and a space on the dashboard, or at least you have a space on the dashboard in order to put a multimedia device over there. And the actual car manufacturer company, they will decide what kind of device they will put over there. Based on the quality or price of the car, they may put a high price, a better quality device, or if the car is like low price or basic, then they will put a very low price device, right? So association does not confirm the quality, it does confirm that there will be at least this device or at least this space on the dashboard. And the actual manufacturer have this own opinion or own decision how they will decide like this. Okay, has anyone any question? Okay, now I want to go to some live program. So I have many programs, live program, some mammal class, inheritance. I'm going to not inheritance, maybe a step class. Vehicle abstract class in Java, vehicle C#. Okay, I got some programs. Okay, so for instance, this is my main class. Okay, main class is start in line number 3, right? Where does it end? It ends in line number 79. And we have our abstract class, vehicle class after the main class. It can be before or after, as long as within a file it will work. Okay, so let us move it. So this my vehicle class, it is start in line number 82 and it ends all the way end to our program here. Here. Okay, so no, not here. Okay, so let us move everything at the top. You can move everything at the top to work. So let us see. We have our abstract class vehicle. Okay, and we know that all classes by default inherits the object class, right? And in C#, object O is in lowercase, and Java is in object O is in uppercase. So this is by default. So this abstract class is ended over here. So that means this class has at least one method that is declared as an abstract. So this class, in order to declare a class abstract, we need an abstract keyword. Abstract, then space class vehicle. Okay, and then it is abstract method. Abstract public void engine type. So that means in order to be a vehicle, it should have an engine, right? It should have an engine, right? The what kind of engine it will be, the vehicle class will not tell that. It will depend any other class who will inherit this vehicle class. Because you know the private car has one kind of engine, maybe 4, it's called 4 or 6, 4, what is that called, 4 cylinder, right? Maybe 4 cylinder or 6 cylinder. A truck, 26 wheeler truck will have more powerful engine, right? A helicopter will have another powerful engine. A airplane will have other powerful engine, right? A train will have different kind of engine, right? So engine type different based on the actual whether my actual class is train or it is a bus or it is a car. It depends on it can be bus or it can be a normal car. Okay. So the engine type over here is we declare as an abstract class. So as soon as I make an abstract class, you see that I cannot have any body. I cannot have any implementation of this class. Okay, remember this will be in a test. But many students will do this mistake. In the past, every semester I tell this multiple times, but since when we grade, we see that some students they do mistake. What is the thing that I want to like you? If you declare a class as an abstract, if you declare a method as an abstract, then you cannot have any implementation of that class, of this method. You cannot have any body. You see that it is giving an error. Even it cannot be empty. Can anyone please, everybody please so pronounce with me, an abstract method cannot have a body. Everybody tell me please, pronounce it. An abstract class, an abstract method cannot have any implementation. Even it cannot have empty. I'm telling you to pronounce sometimes so that, repeat it with me sometimes so that it gets in your mind. So in the test, you will see that some student, even you see that it cannot have any empty body, right? So in your test, some student will write like this way. Some of them are in the past semester, some of them are arguing with me. Okay, I do not have any body. This is an empty body, but I'm telling you, it cannot have any empty body. Okay, but so then how it will be ended? It will be just semicolon. Then where this implementation will go? Actually, this implementation will go so in the engine wherever the class is child class. So train class is extending vehicle. Vehicle has engine type, so it will override the engine type method. And here, even it is empty, then fine. Even it is empty, then it's good, but it will have some implementation if you understand the concept here, right? This implementation can be in a single line or in 100 line, 1000 lines of code. So main thing is that, what is that? I'm going to give you the message. If a method is declared as an abstract method, it cannot have any body, any kind of implementation. Okay, and if you declare a class, a method as an abstract method, you see that the class itself must be declared as an abstract. It cannot be non-abstract. It will give an error. But if you see that as soon as I back the abstract, then it is fine, right? Then another thing is that if I get rid of the abstract keyword, then it is getting error, right? Giving error. What is the error for? If it is non-abstract, then it must have an implementation. It must have a body, even it is empty. So it is a trade-off, right? If your class, your method is abstract, it cannot have any body. If it is non-abstract, then it must have a body. Okay, another thing is that if a class is abstract class, it may have all methods abstract or none of them abstract. So here I do not have anything abstract, right? But still it is working. So If you understand this, then you are good. So then as soon as I say abstract, so then I cannot have a body, then class must be abstract. And then whenever I see, I do this, whenever I extend the vehicle class, right? Vehicle class is an abstract class. If I do this, if I want to do this, my program will give you an error. In some interactive compiler will give you an error right away. So it is giving me an error. What does it say error? Train is not abstract and does not override abstract method engine type in vehicle. Okay, that means the train is not an abstract method, abstract class, and or it does not implement the engine type method. So this is an error. In order to resolve this error, there are two ways. What are the two ways? Number one, I can make the train class itself abstract. Then I can say abstract train class. Then train class is abstract. Then this issue will gone. So you see that error is coming line number 29, right? If I run it, there will be other issues, but not in line number 29. So you see that it is not okay. That's good. It did not give me an error. That's good. But one thing is that I made the train class abstract, right? I cannot create any method, any object of train object. For instance, I cannot say, let me go all the way. I cannot say train T1 equal to new train. Okay, I cannot say this. It will give me an error. So if I use Eclipse, then it will give me an error instantly. But some compilers do not give me error. Okay, so what is the error over here? So the train is an abstract class, cannot be instantiated. The error is coming over here, right? Line number 236. Line number 236. Okay, so how to solve this problem? Make the train class non-abstract. How to make a class non-abstract? Just get rid of the abstract keyword. Now this at the error line number 236 will be gone, but it will give an error under message, another error. So what is that error? Can you guess? It will give me another error. This error will be gone, but still it will give me another issue. What is that? Yes? Since it train class extend vehicle class, and our vehicle class is an abstract class, right? It has an abstract method vehicle engine type, right? It must declare the engine type. It must complete the engine type. Okay, so you see the error will come over here, line number 29. It will show me an error for line number 29. So line number 29 is showing error, right? So the line number 29. So how do we resolve this issue? We need to override the engine type method. So how it is we do override? We need the whole body, this one, except the abstract, and then we need to put over here, and we need to give an implementation. Even the implementation is empty, then fine. Okay, it will work now. So you see, this is working, right? Okay, but if I do not have this, it will make me an error, right? So now let us put a very simple statement over here. So our two-string method on the other day is not working, but I have some example over here. Okay, it is working and you can see it over here. Okay, last time I don't know, the last program two-string method was not working. I don't know, there is maybe some error. Okay, so now if we give any print message from here, we can say train, for instance, this class, this method. You see, okay, that means if we get this output, then we should believe that this output is coming from train class. Okay, so let us see that if we can get this output. Okay, so we created a train object T1. Now if I say T1 dot engine type, right, engine type, so then if we call this, or this is the last statement, so if we see, run it, then we will see at all the way end we have this message. This message, train colon engine type, this one, train colon engine type. Got it? Okay, this is the concept of abstract class. Okay, so once I have an abstract class vehicle, I can inherit that abstract class to any class. I can say class car extend vehicle. Okay, so this is the concept of inheritance. If you so abstract class. Okay, now we have few more minutes. Now I can go to the next topic. Interface. Okay, I have polymorphism due. I will start polymorphism. I will discuss next week. Okay, maybe it's related, so I can come quickly. Yes. An abstract class. What is your question? Can an abstract class have multiple what? Multiple abstract methods? Yes. What is your question? An abstract class have multiple abstract methods. Yeah, an abstract class have any number of children. Please come forward. Give me the favor. No, bring your backpack. You can sit on the front and tell me. Yeah, this seat is fine. Yes, so what is your question? No. I got your question. So you said the abstract class, it is solving our problem that a child class can have only one parent, right? No, abstract class is not solving that issue. Abstract class is solving the issue that I told you a story that you are giving money to your brother, younger brother, every day. He is not using that money. He's asking money every day from you, but he is not using that money. You want to ensure that he is using that money, your money. You understand? So here it has abstract. The vehicle class has a method engine, type engine, abstract, right? So by making the engine type abstract, you are ensuring that any class, anything in order to declare as a vehicle must have an engine. So without engine, can we call it a vehicle? Maybe no, right? But although there are many, because a trolley or something without engine, right? We do not say them vehicle. Right? You understand? So that your question, or second question, was that how do we solve the issue that a class cannot have multiple parents? That was your question, right? That is resolved by using interface. That I was going to tell you. Give me a few more minutes. I have 15 more minutes. There are 15 slides. I can go quickly, okay? Okay, please be patient 5 more minutes, then I will answer your question if you still have, okay? So the interface is actually a kind of contract. Okay, that ensures that this thing will have this property. This thing must have this property. Okay. So then you see that the run. So here the original. Let us, in order to understand the problem of inheritance, that let us go to this slide. So we told that run class is both parents, right? It cannot be inheritance, right? So C++, C# and Java do not allow this multiple inheritance. It is called multiple inheritance. Okay, but how can this solve? If we declare man and all as an interface, not a class, then the problem is solved. So by declaring this, we can have this. So let me show you. So interface is kind of similar to abstract class, but it has some different rules. Okay, that I'm telling you. So let me see how many slides are there. Okay, one thing is that we said that an abstract class can contain all of the methods at abstract or none of the method abstract, right? Did I tell that property? An abstract class can contain all of the methods at abstract or none of abstract. Still, I can have abstract. So if I do not have this, so then still, if I have this, then it's fine. There is nothing abstract. Still, the class can be abstract. Only the restriction is that I cannot create a vehicle object. I cannot instantiate this class. Okay. So that means this is a good thing, the interview question, the difference between an abstract class and an interface. Okay, it's an interview question. Remember that. So an abstract class be 0 to 100% abstract. An abstract class can be 0% abstract. That means there is no method abstract, no abstract method in it, or all method abstract. So 0 to 100%, okay? Or it can have some methods abstract. So you understand why it is called 0 to 100% abstract, an abstract class. But an interface is 100% abstract. If we declare an interface, it is all methods declared in it are abstract by default. So one of the difference is that in order to be an abstract class, it is not required that that to have any abstract method. It can be abstract by itself without having any abstract method. But if we declare an interface, for instance, interface, we use interface keyword, and for instance, I air vehicle. So this is a naming convention that all interfaces are start with I. I means interface. Okay. Okay. Then this method is public void air type. This method is abstract by itself. It does not need abstract keyword. So you do not need abstract keyword. It is itself abstract. And if you have any variable or field in an abstract is an interface that must be initialized. That is actually constant, type of constant. So now you understand? So then an interface is 100% abstract. But an abstract class is 0 to 100% abstract. Okay, one difference is that. Okay, number two, whenever we in Java, whenever we inherit an abstract class, we use extend keyword, and whenever we inherit an interface, we use implements keyword. But in C#, it is colon. All for all, both extend and implements, you use just colon sign. So you see that my car class, it extended only one vehicle class. It cannot have more than two classes. And it implements clonable class. This is the built-in interface, clonable interface, I vehicle interface, I water vehicle interface. So I have maybe I water vehicle interface that extend another interface. Okay, so we can inherit multiple interfaces, right? But we cannot inherit multiple abstract class, only one abstract class. And like an abstract class, an interface cannot be instantiated. We cannot create an object using an interface. So now if you understand this, then it is a good time. Please do practice. Okay, so since all the methods, like for instance, this method air type is abstract by default, right? So this any class inherits this I vehicle interface must declare its implementation, its body, air type. So air type will be declared anywhere within class, within, you see that within this anywhere within the, what is this class, car class, right? Car class. So if you do not have this implementation, it will give an error. This implementation can be one line, single line, or it can be 1,000 lines. In academia, you will be taught inheritance or interface using a simple statement, right? But in industry, whenever you go for actual job, you will see that you will be able to implement this in this method as many statements as it needed. Okay. Whenever you are being interviewed, so they will ask you the question whether you understand the basic concept. They will believe that if you understand the basic concept, you will be able to write your code over here, any number of methods. This complete this method as needed. Has anyone any question so far? So we covered two things. I will start class and interface. Now all of these things are, see, I'm giving you this program. So please practice this. One, I think it is Java. I should have this program in C#. So I have same program in C#. So do I need to go through C# program? Only you see the difference is that you use colon instead of extend keyword, and another thing is that in C# override is a keyword. In Java we wrote here in Java, so like in Java we write @ and override annotation in Java. But in C#, override is a keyword. It is used as public override. This. And everything is same. So we use colon sign for inheritance. So you see that one single colon, it does not use extend or implements. Okay, like a class can be extended, an interface can be extended also. If you have an interface and if you need to make another interface by extending that, you can do that. So I like everybody to practice this program. Okay, you will get test question from this. Has anyone any question? I have many examples in my
I do have a question.
Yes.
Can abstract methods have parameters and be overloaded?
Can abstract method be parameters? Okay. Yeah. You see that I have this abstract method. This is parameter. And it can be another abstract method like this. Okay, but it will give an error because I did not inherit this one, implement this one in person class, right? In person, whatever is the teacher, I need to override that class, that method. So I need to have this method. Is working? So
thank you.
You got that right? And I will start class can have parameterized method. Do you like me to give you this code as well as? Anyone has any other question? Okay, I skipped something today. that is polymorphism, this slide. So I jump from inheritance to abstract class and interface because these are similar. So in our next lecture we will discuss polymorphism and typecasting. Okay, so do not miss our next lecture also. Okay, so if you miss our next lecture, then you will miss some substantial thing. And we see that we are at the end of object-oriented properties. So we discuss class, inheritance, abstract class, interface. We discuss data hiding and then encapsulation, right? Through getter and setter method. How do we declare getter and